8:45 a.m. Sunday morning, 531, 215. It is the last month, day of the month, that we put in highs here in May. This timestamp is here because this will not get uploaded until Wednesday or Thursday of next week, and it's going to go into what we call a super bubble. And part of a super bubble is we're extremely overbought, we're coming down. The lows that we set over here, which was the first week, that low was 2039 on 3/8/2015. We are going to be coming down here. Here, we were at these key weekly 10-week, 20-week moving averages. This was a high on 222 of 15, and that high was 2119. We had a 3-week reversal there, and this low right here was 2039. And then from that point on, we went through a lighter volume environment on the S&P. And this is that major top that we were putting in. And on a weekly level, we held a weekly consolidation called rectangular consolidation. And also, let's be advised, in the super bubble, is we're starting the month of June. And every one of these wicks that you see right here on the 10, the red line is a 20-week, and you can see how they came in and used the algorithm to run these up off of the bottom, and how they did that here. Now we have another reversal, and here's the reversal that's in play. It's very, very simple to understand that 2134, and the qualifier is that you have to have a weekly reversal below the last previous week's high, and we're looking at 2100 here on that weekly 10 weekly moving average. Okay, and then this one down here, that 20 week is 2083. Now, for the calendar week of this last previous week here, today is 531, we had a 27-point movement in both directions in the S&P. When we go back and we go to the monthly on the S&P, we can clearly see here that the monthly level right here is where we peaked. And yes, it's very, very, very bullish to try to get people in on the sideline. Look at the low of this last month of May was 2067. And yes, we made a higher movement, but let me just cautionary everyone. The red line down here at 1960 on the S&P is a 20-week moving average. This particular line here, I mean a monthly moving average, this is a 10 monthly moving average, and that's right at around 2050. So the month of June will be a net down month. And one of the things that we're going to talk about on these monthly movements is that when we were going into the highs, the whole monthly movement in the S&P was 66.79 points round trip, bottom up, top down. The previous month on 4/1, April 1, was 77 points on the monthly movement right here in the S&P. When we went over here, we had a 77.83 movement up and down in the S&P. When we started off the February lows, we started off with that 1980 low here, and we tested this blue line referred to as a 10-month moving average. and it came into play at exactly on that low was 1980, and that 10-month moving average on this bull chart was 2003.41. Diminishing volume going up. We made that all-time high. June is a down month. Parts of June are a down month, period. So basically, when we take a look at how overbought something is, we are already seeing a diminishing factor in this blue reading right here. That's called, in the technical world, they call that moving average convergence divergence. And listen, all of my years being around, to have this thing up here at 154, we're at 148 ending the month of May. So we definitely already have a slight turn on this overbought level for the retail world. This is what it was like from 2008. We're 6 years into this move, and we are. And back in year 2007, 2008, we came slightly down here. Here was the number 666.79 on the monthly S&P, and we've never looked back. And a lot of it has to do with high frequency algorithms. Right now, for the longer term trade, we are going to be buying put options on that S&P. We're also going to take a look at the 3X Bear ETFs that are related to this S&P 500 index. I'm just going to conclude it now. It's a very, very big turning point. Naturally, we look at that weekly reversal. This is how they start. And we tested the 10-week moving average. And this is the calendar yearly high. Right there. 2134. Look at that. Zzz, they sold right into it. Yes, they did. That's why that weekly wick is like that. They surely weren't buying it, and they surely weren't closing up anywhere near that high, as they are not. That was a previous week. So when we, the most important thing for people to know is when markets get lopsided mathematically, yeah, there is a mathematical equation at every top and every bottom, period. And we can see how that bull kept testing these weekly moving averages and then popping this up here on lighter volume. That's what they were doing. This is how market tops. If I want to go back, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to come right through here at the bottom of where this wick was, and I'm going to come right through here on this weekly level, right here, right there. Is this weekly low is higher than the previous. It comes right through here. We're closing, let me delete this trend line. We are going to draw one at the body of the weekly bar or candlestick, whatever you want to call it. That's going to be right there. This is the body of it. So here, let's just go ahead and put it right there. And clearly you can see that that dip mentality was buying it, but it was on extremely lower volume, and it was done differently. This is what we call a qualifying week reversal, and that the month of June, and parts of the month of June rather, is going to be to the downside. And they do start like this. This was a weekly reversal, and this was a weekly reversal. This one here was a blow off top. I'm going to conclude this S&P for starting the month of June of 2015. And not only am I going to do that, here's where it's going to go. The reading is going to go into, are we in a bubble moving forward? is going to be coming down. 2015, 2016. This will be an update to this particular area of the website. And it looks like this. Here's the icon. Super bubble. And bubbles have a actual movement to them over a period of months. You take 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and 12 months. Those are the quarterlies that we're going to be watching. And this is the beginning of this turn going into the month of June.